Hi and welcome back to the channel Foodies. So today we are making pumpkin pie. I have been obsessed with American style pies lately and I thought I should give this one a try, and I have to say it turned out really well. It's so delicious and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So to start off with, I'm going to cut my pumpkin in half. You can of course choose to use ready-made pumpkin puree if you can find it, but I'm doing everything from scratch. So I'm going to remove the seeds from my pumpkin and then I'm going to put some salt onto my pumpkin. The salt will help to draw out the moisture from the pumpkin. Then turn the pumpkin upside down and bake in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. In the meantime, we're going to prepare our pie crust. To see how I made the pie crust from scratch, you can refer to my blueberry pie video. I'll link it in the description box down below. Then you're just going to flour your surface and put some more flour on top of the pie dough and start rolling your dough. Then just make sure that it'll fit into your pie dish. Then roll it onto your rolling pin to make it easy to transfer onto your pie dish, and then roll it over your pie dish and then lightly push it in. Remember not to tug too much as it'll break, and then just cut off the excess on the edges, and then you can crimp the edges to make your pie look pretty. Then poke some holes at the bottom and on the sides of your pie dough. This will help the pie dough to not puff up in the oven while you're blind baking it. Then cover the pie dough with some wax paper, and then on top of that place some foil, and then into the foil you're going to pour in some beans or some rice, or if you've got pie weights you can use those as well. Then bake in the oven for 20 minutes at 180 degrees. Then we're going to make an egg wash using an egg. So just beat up an egg. Then once your pie is done, then you're going to take out your beans and you're going to remove the wax paper and brush the egg wash onto your dough. So make sure that you cover the bottom and the sides so that your dough can brown up nicely in the oven. So we're going to return the dough. Once we've brushed it with the egg wash, we're going to return it into the oven as it is and bake for about 5 minutes. And then it's time to make our filling. So I'm just going to mash my pumpkin. You can of course blitz it in a food processor if it's easier for you. But if you do use a masher, just make sure that there are no lumps and bumps in your pumpkin. So make sure that you really mash it nicely. And once it's mashed, we are going to add some brown sugar, some white sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, a pinch of salt, as well as some vanilla extract, and we're going to give everything a good mix. I have to say the smell of the cinnamon and the ginger with the pumpkin is incredible. Then in a separate bowl you're going to whisk 2 eggs together. Then take some cream and warm it up in the microwave, and then add a little bit at a time to the eggs to prevent the eggs from scrambling because your cream is hot. So just add a little bit at a time to temper the eggs. Then once the eggs are tempered, you are going to pour the rest of the cream into the eggs and you're going to whisk. Then take your egg mixture and add it to your pumpkin mixture and whisk everything. Then our filling is done. It is time to take our pie out of the oven and pour the filling into the pie. As you can see, the pie is nice and golden brown because of that egg wash that we put on it. We're going to take some foil and we're going to create a tent for the edges to prevent them from burning in the oven, and we're going to bake at 170 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes, and then our pie is done. However, I'm not going to leave it there. I'm going to make a cream cheese icing for my pie. You can of course choose to leave this step out, but if you want to make it, you're going to take some cream, and using a hand mixer you're just going to whip it up into a nice thick consistency. Then once you've whipped your cream in a separate bowl, you're going to mash some cream cheese just to soften it up using a spatula. Then to the cream cheese you're going to add your whipped cream as well as some icing sugar, and then take your hand mixer once again and whisk everything together until it's a nice thick consistency that you can pipe onto your pie. That's the kind of consistency we're looking for, and we are done. It is time to pipe that beautiful cream cheese icing on top of the pie, and I promise you it makes a world of difference. And please don't make the mistake that I made of not waiting for the pie to cool down before I piped my icing onto the pie. I was in such a hurry to enjoy my pie, and as you can see, my icing melted, but it was still so good. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers!